Hi everyone. So I've been doing 1 meal a day for the past 7 days and I was completely shocked by the results. So in this video I'm going to tell you how much weight I lost, how I was feeling doing 1 meal a day, some of the advantages, some of the disadvantages of doing the 1 meal a day protocol. So one of the reasons I started doing OMAD, or 1 meal a day, was to sort of increase fat loss, to build a bit more discipline with my eating, and I was just genuinely curious about OMAD. I'd seen quite a few videos of people talking about how it had helped them in their weight loss journey, and I thought it would be worthwhile trying it myself. A bit more about myself: I already train, I lift weights. As you can see here, this is my weights rack, and I jump on the treadmill now and then, although I can't say I've done this consistently or as consistently as I would like to. Another reason I decided to do the OMAD protocol is because I was tired of diets that weren't really working for me, and I wanted something that would be quick but also sustainable. Let me tell you about what I ate each day. So most of my meals I would have between 6 and 7 p.m. And what I would normally try to do is to get as much protein as I could in each meal. So I would aim ideally for about 100 grams plus of protein, and I'd have a side of carbs and a side of vegetables. So it would be quite easy, nothing too complicated in terms of the meals that I was preparing. I would also try and take some supplements whilst doing the protocol. After I'd eaten, I would have some fish oil, magnesium, K2. These were just some of the supplements that I felt I needed or would be good to use whilst fasting. Throughout the day, I would also be drinking as much water as I could get in myself. A lot of the time that would be between 1.5 litres and 2 litres of water. Okay, so let's talk about the results. Every 2 days or so, I would sort of be tracking my weight to see how much weight I'd lost, and I would do this in the morning before anything else. And between the first day I started OMAD training and the 7th day, I lost 4 kg. And I understand most of that is probably water weight, but it's really refreshing to see some change and some movement. I've done so many diets in the past where I'd limit the amount of calories I'd have in a day and do all this and do all that, and then I'd jump on the scales and I'd be like, why have I put on more weight? You know, so it was really good to see the weight drop each time I stepped on those scales, you know, so that was really refreshing for me to see. I also noticed that as time went on doing the OMAD training, I wasn't feeling as hungry as I did in the first 3 days. The first 3 days I was literally fighting for my life, it felt like, you know, just to wait until 6 p.m. until I could break my fast. But honestly, after those 3 days had gone, it became easier for me to consistently wait until that time period to eat my meals, you know. And I found that as time went on, I was having more energy, you know, I felt clearer, my mind felt clearer. I've also noticed on this diet that my strength levels, although they aren't as high as they normally would be when it comes to weight training or lifting weights, I have still noticed that I do have the capacity to continue lifting heavy weights. A lot of the time that's dependent on how much calories I've consumed the day before. I find that if I haven't consumed enough calories, what tends to happen is when I come to lift weights or when I come to do some form of training, the energy levels just aren't there to carry me through. And one of the reasons I want to keep training is just so that I'm losing fat, but I'm also maintaining muscle. In regards to training as well, I still try to get at least 10,000 steps in every single day. I've set that as a standard for me to follow. So each day, outside of eating at 6 p.m, I am also trying to get at least 10,000 steps in some way or the other, whether it's walking in the evening, or walking whilst watching a show on my treadmill, or standing up and doing some work on the treadmill. They're just different ways I've tried to incorporate as many steps into my day as possible. Okay, so where has it been? It's not all been easy to do the OMAD training. There have been life events like, friends' birthday parties, families' birthday parties, work events that I've had to go to where it can be slightly challenging to stay consistent, with OMAD. But what I've tried to do in those situations is, if I am going out to celebrate a friend's birthday or whatever, I will try and sort of prioritize eating protein at that dinner, and stay away from the cakes and the sugary drinks and all of those sort of things. And to be honest, it's not been as difficult as I thought it would be to do that. So that has been quite a relief. Also, and like I mentioned before, another struggle is if you do not stick to a certain level of calories, you are genuinely going to feel it. I wanted OMAD to be a way where I could stop the food noise, but it's also not supposed to be a form of starving myself, so I still want to ensure that I'm eating enough calories to sustain me throughout the day, although at a deficit, so that's something to take into consideration. Ensure that you're eating enough calories to give you the energy you need to take you through the day. So if you're thinking of doing OMAD, like I said, I make sure that you're planning your week ahead, plan what you're going to eat, ensure that you're having enough calories, ensure that you're having more protein than anything else. And if you are going to train, ensure that you're also having enough calories to take you through your training as well. Take supplements where possible. Yeah, those are some of the tips I would give to people who might want to try OMAD. There will definitely be more videos coming talking about my experiences doing OMAD further. I will continue to do it because I have genuinely seen the benefit of doing it for myself, and I would recommend for those who want to give it a try, you should. So if you found this video helpful, I would love it if you could subscribe, give the video a like, and also if you could just comment and tell me about your experience if you're doing one meal a day, or if you're thinking of doing one meal a day. This is a community for us to discuss things and support each other and help each other on this journey.